Ah, the trap base. Usually small and inconspicuous, these are some of the most entertaining Rust videos I watch, and admittedly some of the most annoying deaths I've experienced. From something as simple as some shotgun traps hidden behind a twig wall, to an advanced proximity-based death by electrocution design, they really range a lot in both ease of assembly and effectiveness. Now, I've built a lot of trap bases before, but they were all pretty simple, and at this point in the game most players can tell what one looks like, or at least how to test for one properly. But then I saw Max Mears' freeze-based design that froze players to death using a snow machine, which is one of the funniest ways I've seen to kill someone in Rust. And then ZChum's Parasite video. By building an extremely low 2x2 with raised foundations for the honeycombs, they were able to create a base design made to be taken over, that the unsuspecting owners would then fill with loot until their crew came back from underneath to claim it for themselves. After seeing these masterpieces, I was determined to bring something original to the trap base table, but days of thought and I had nothing good come to my head. I certainly wasn't going to come up with a method of execution more unique than death by snow machine, and there weren't many triggers I could think of that I hadn't seen used. But then when Ant told me the turret I had set up last night had been killing him all day, it hit me. The stupidest trap base in Rust. I was gonna kill players by giving them the one thing you learn on day one never to give anybody. Access to my tool cupboard. I don't think there's anything better for base defense than auto turrets. In the past, playing as a group could make setting up turrets pretty frustrating because the authorization on a turret and a TC are separate. Now you can auth your friends when setting them up, so teammates don't log into a smart home dead set on killing them, but the authorization is still unrelated to the tool cupboard, which would be the premise behind this entire trap. My go-to trap base is usually just a turret or a shotgun trap room inside of an open base with a heartbeat sensor that opens the door. The downsides of this system are that 1, players are rarely foolish enough to enter a base where they can't see anything of potential value, and 2, when somebody does decide to walk in, the trap triggers instantly, often killing them right in the doorway where their body can be easily retrieved if they run back. I needed something that would draw them in, and also let them get deep enough that when they returned they wouldn't be able to reach their items. And what is the most enticing thing for a roaming grub in Rust? A glaringly defenseless TC. The idea was simple, but the execution required a bit of thought. Me and my duo M hopped on my own public server to try a few ideas out, and I wound up coming up with this hideous construction. By taking the concept of my normal heartbeat sensor design and reversing it, I would make a base that was totally safe to intruders, with my trap hidden behind a door that would automatically open in the presence of a build authorized player. And then I'd bait it with an unlocked TC, assuming the first thing any investigators would do is authorize, opening my turret trap and killing them deep within my base. This wouldn't be my final iteration of the build, but it functioned for a prototype, albeit an ugly one. Ugly as it may have been though, it proved the trap base worked, and was all we needed to go give it a shot in the wild public servers of Rust. At the time of recording, I'd been working on a really long video about the achievements, and because of this I was normally playing on Facebook Small 1, since Rust achievements are really particular about requiring you complete them on an official server with a proc-gen map. The issue with this is, aside from on the weekends, our server's pop was generally averaging like 50 to 60 players at peak hours. Not a lot of victims to lure. So we decided to find the most populated modded server we could, and wound up on Rustinity, a 5-time server with about 400 active players. I met up with Enna Outpost first thing, and while we were there we met a kid who was struggling to find a team, so we let him tag along, and started grinding out supplies for the trap base.
Jimmy Boy speaking. Yeah, it's Jimmy Boy at Outpost. Yeah, we're done.
T, I got boom into full high qual base.
We were taking a lot of L's, and while loot was a lot easier to get, it also made the server significantly more hectic than vanilla. I decided to put all my focus into getting the trap down, although my neighbors didn't seem to care as much for that idea. At this point, we were about 3 hours in, and Ent and I were running out of mental stamina, so we really had to get things moving.
I don't. Maybe we should go take all. Actually, if you guys build, I'll go take all, mama. Are you down? Is this where we're gonna put the turret? Really, bro? Really? He's on my body. He's on my body. He's running.
After thousands of hours in Rust, I'd never seen this error. I tried to emulate the issue on my own server and had no problems placing a turret directly next to a train track, so I figured this must be a unique plugin to this server. Just my luck. By now, Ent and Mad Muncher had to say goodnight. It was rapidly approaching 5 AM and the server's pop had dwindled down to around 200 players. My brain felt like scrambled eggs and I couldn't help feeling defeated. But I saw we had just enough supplies to get the base up one more time, and I really didn't want to come back here for a while, so I threw it down as fast as possible and started making as much noise as I could with our remaining gunpowder to chum the waters. Bingo. After hours and hours of effort, I had successfully trapped one victim. And with it being a 5 times, obviously his loot was nothing too exciting, but he did have a CCTV cam, which would allow me a front row seat if I could just lure one more player. amazing. After this, my general conclusion is that trap bases are a phenomenal source of entertainment, but also probably the worst use of your time with regards to getting loot. I think for now I'll stick to a simpler design when I'm itching to set a trap, at least until we get some sort of automated looting system so we don't have to sit around waiting to catch somebody. But I have to admit, this was pretty satisfying. Thanks for watching, guys. I'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribed to see more content. Keep those TCs locked, and remember, the only way to win in Rust is by having a good time. Peace out.